Hello Manchester United fans, welcome back to the Manchester Evening News. It's a lovely sunny day here in Manchester, which it wasn't actually supposed to do according to the weather forecast, so I'm here in my sunglasses getting a nice tan. But this is my preview of the FA Cup final this weekend. I'm Sam Hutchison, and there's only one place to start really. This is going to be a really difficult game for Man United. Man City are so good, and they do it every year. End of the season, they start winning multiple games in a row, 10 games in a row, and then they knock it to 11, and that's what they've done towards the end of this season. They didn't start the season off in fire form, as we normally expect, and then towards the end of their season, they've just come into this flying form. Haaland's world class, De Bruyne's just creating chances. Everybody seems to have clicked, everything seems to have clicked, and now they're on the verge of a treble, which at the start of the season it looked like they might go trophyless, they just weren't in that good form. So that's where you've really got to start. This is going to be really difficult. Manchester United are a really good side, but they're not on that level of Man City, who might be the best team in the world right now. And for the FA Cup final, anything can happen in a final. I always say anyone can win in a final. It goes down to penalties, and anyone can win on penalties. It really doesn't matter. Form doesn't matter going into a final. So Man United do have a chance. It looks like a slim chance on paper, but football matches aren't played on paper. They're played on a pitch, and there are benefits that Man United could use to their advantage to sort of come out of this game on top and leave the season on such a high. As for City, injury news, they actually look like they might have a centre-back shortage. Ruben Diaz, John Stones, Manuel Akanji and Nathan Ake have all missed games recently for a variety of reasons, and if they do have a centre-half shortage, Marcus Rashford, sort of Jadon Sancho, Anthony if he's back, Martial is missing, which we'll get onto in the team news, but they can really take advantage of Man City's sort of weakness that might be there in defence. I think Marcus Rashford will probably start as the sole striker with someone off the left, maybe Garnacho, maybe Sancho, and I think Bruno Fernandes will start on the right. He started there against City when Man United won at Old Trafford, and I think as a whole he makes the team a lot more defensively solid when he does start on the right, because that allows someone like Fred, Sabitza's injured, but someone like Fred or McTominay to come into midfield and really shore up that midfield. And Bruno Fernandes still plays out of his skin. I saw a stat earlier that he's created the most chances in the Premier League this season. Now the Premier League's over, that means he's basically pretty much the best playmaker in the Premier League. And that is his job. He does create chances solely as his role. That is what he does. However, I do think he's where this game will be won or lost, especially because Man City still don't have a left back. Ake's been playing there, Akanji's been playing there, Sergio Gomez has been playing there in recent weeks in the Premier League. I think we've seen John Stones out there at some point. We saw Bernardo out there before Christmas. There is an option there. There is opportunity for Man United to really attack at left back and at right back, because Pep Guardiola's been playing this sort of 3-2-2-3, 3-1-4-1 sort of formation that's very strange as a formation. It doesn't really make any sense to my footballing brain, but it works. He's got him playing great football, but there is weaknesses in that team that no one's managed to exploit yet, but they are definitely there to be exploited. He's got this sort of right centre-half position where he sort of merges a full-back with a centre-back with a defensive midfielder. And we've seen John Stones in that position, we've seen Calvin Phillips in that position, we've seen Kyle Walker in that position. And all of them are top-tier footballers, let's be real. But there's definitely a weakness there, especially if Marcus Rashford starts out on the left and Weghorst starts up front, which I don't know about you Manchester United fans, but I don't really want to see that. I don't think Weghorst's time at Manchester United has really been that much of a success. And in my overall player ratings video that I'll do in a couple of weeks of Manchester United's season, sort of reflecting on the players, I don't think I'm going to be able to give him anything higher than a 5, but he might start this game as Martial's injured, and you never know, this could be the making of his Manchester United career. What if he goes out, causes chaos in the Man City defence, scores a goal, wins Manchester United the FA Cup. He goes down as a folk hero. So, looking forwards and looking at defence of Man United, it looks like it should really be Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. I think he's been much better than Dalot, especially recently, but probably since the World Cup. At centre-half, I think Varane and Lindelof will probably have to start. I think Lindelof's been much better than Maguire all season. Luke Shaw will start at left-back. It'll be David De Gea in net. Man United don't really have any options apart from David De Gea in net, and he is capable of making the big saves that win Man United games. We've seen it throughout his career here at Old Trafford. I do sort of think midfield, it'll look like Casemiro, Fred and maybe Eriksen, with Bruno Fernandes off the right. And then off the left, I think I'd probably start Sancho. He's actually been quite good, but off the right in recent weeks, I think he could probably replicate that form on the left. And Marcus Rashford up front for the real burst of pace. I mean, Ruben Diaz has been in flying form, especially recently. We know he's a world-class defender. He's been world-class ever since Man City signed him. But he's been in really, really good form recently. And I think if Man United are going to cause issues for Ruben Diaz, the keys are going to be on the wings. So Bruno Fernandes, why not put your best players out on the wings, your most creative players, and see if you can get Marcus Rashford in behind the defence more than with his back to goal, which is how Weghorst would have to play. As for a score prediction, I think I can honestly see this going all the way. We've seen in the playoff finals this gone weekend, we saw all 3 games go to penalties. It's the first time that's ever happened. And what are the chances of it happening again? I think they're pretty high. I think this will go to penalties. I think it'll be 1-1 after normal time, 1-1 after extra time, and then on penalties, I think Manchester United will win. I hope Manchester United win, so Man City don't get this treble, because I don't want them to, basically. Let us know your score prediction. Let us know your team prediction, Manchester United fans. Anyone you'd want to start, any tactical changes you'd like to see Erik ten Hag make, anything that I've missed in this preview that you think Erik ten Hag could take advantage of in Pep Guardiola's side. Make sure you keep it locked to the Manchester Evening News for all the best build-up for the FA Cup final and all the coverage after the FA Cup final. We've got a whole team of writers down there covering both sides, so we should be on absolutely everything you could ever imagine from Manchester United versus Manchester City in the FA Cup final. And I've been Sam Hutchison. Speak to you next time.